Today I fucked up by rubbing the wrong girl's leg at the theater. Today I fucked up by rubbing some girl's leg at the theater. Obligatory. This happened to me a few years ago and I get severe anxiety whenever I even think about it. So myself and my wife went to a comedy gig at a theater in town. So the show starts and when the lights go down my wife always likes to cuddle up to me, which I equally enjoy. So she is leaning on my shoulder area and I reach over to rub her leg. Nothing unusual at this point, and this continues for about 2 to 3 minutes until suddenly the lady sitting beside my wife leans out of her seat to look at me and say, "Excuse me, you're rubbing my leg." I stopped immediately and apologized unreservedly for my mistake, but I wish the earth could have swallowed me up at that point. Luckily it was dark and I don't think many people around us saw what happened. But the worst part is that this was at the start of the show and we had sit beside this lady for the next 2 hours. I heard her turn to tell her friends what had happened and laugh, which was like a dagger to my soul. Luckily my wife found it funny too, so no issues on that front. But to this day I not understand why the lady let me continue rubbing for at least 2 minutes before interrupting me. Too long didn't read. I was rubbing the wrong girl's legs at the theater. Perhaps after 2 minutes she felt like things weren't going anywhere and got bored. Shit happens, no one got mad and you get a funny story. It's a win for everyone. She naturally assumed you'd be done after 2 minutes. Smiley face, smiley face. I bet she realized she fucked up too by not immediately stopping the indiscretion. You bastard. You have 2 full minutes to take your hands off. How does this even happen? How far over were you reaching? If I was to reach over to my GF's leg in a theater, I've gotta go like a foot to foot and a half from my own leg. To reach the leg of the next person over, I'd have to like lay across my GF's lap and then reach in order to touch someone else. Do you just have insanely long arms, or are you in a theater with the narrowest ass seats? Did that lady have her leg on top of your wife's leg in your wife's space? I just don't understand. When I was younger I went to the movies with my mom. I think it might have actually been Shrek. I would lean over to my mom and talk about the funny parts of the movie. When halfway through the movie she leaned over and whispered, "If you don't stop talking to me I'll call police." Turns out my mom was on the other side and I was talking to a complete stranger the whole time. I shut up after she threatened me with the police. Today I fucked up by thinking the amount I was drinking in a day was normal and healthy. Today I, 23F, have realized one of the biggest mistake in my life, thanks to the new kettle I bought. Until recently I used to live with my family, and I was always obsessed with drinking enough water to keep my skin clear and to stay healthy. I took the 2 liters of water a day to heart. But I guess living with other people and having tea time together, getting a drink for a family member when you get one for yourself etc. made me not go overboard. A few months ago I moved out to live by myself. That's when the problem started. The amount of times I had to pee during a day was making me crazy. I would pee at least 2 times before leaving the house in the morning. Tried not to go too often during work so my co-workers wouldn't think I was crazy. Would need to go as soon as I came home, and needed to pee multiple times after having gone to bed. I decided to keep track, and before 4 PM I had already gone to the toilet 10 times. I was sure it wasn't an UTI, because I've had those a few times before. Maybe this also fueled my habit of drinking water. I bought cranberry pills and special drinks for the bladder, started doing Kegel exercises, but no luck. Started contemplating if I had to book a doctor's visit soon, because maybe I had a serious bladder problem. It was making me miserable. Until yesterday I did not own a kettle, but now the weather is getting colder I'm craving tea. I got a stunning see-through kettle. So last night I made myself a nice pot of tea. I filled it up halfway, since that looked about right for a bit of tea, and I finished it all. This morning I decided to make another pot, and with my sleepy head, I looked at my kettle better. That's when I realized I filled up the kettle almost up to the 2 liters mark, just like yesterday. And I drink it all. But that's not all I drank. I also had cereal with milk and a cup of juice, at least 4 cups of water, a cup of cola, and a coffee. I guess I just never thought about how much ml is actually going into my cups. and with no one around to stop me, I thought I was just staying healthy. But in reality I have been drinking a crazy amount of fluids every day, way past 2 liters, so yeah, of course I have to pee every hour. Too long didn't read. I thought the amount I was drinking in a day was normal and healthy, so I went crazy because of how often I had to pee. New kettle made me realize I drink way past 2 liters in a day. Seems like you have a drinking problem. Peeing a lot can be a symptom of diabetes. If you feel thirsty throughout the day, have a dry mouth, pee a lot, feel very tired and have red eyes or a blurry vision, it's better to visit your doctor. Hopefully you just had to pee a lot because you drank too much water. Good luck, cop. Thank you for this comment. I just got a stronger eye prescription as well. Can't believe I didn't make the connection with possible diabetes. I will visit a doctor soon to get it checked out. Best judges the color of your pee. If it's clear you are drinking too much and possibly flushing away electrolytes. If it's beer color yellow, way too little. Ideally your pee should be a slight yellow aside from the first in the morning pee that's always a bit darker. This is better than just knowing how many liters you're drinking because it factors in the differences hot weather / sport / sweat etc. Hydroamies would like to disagree. Did it stop when you started to drink less? Jep. Today I drastically cut down the amount of drinks and I already feel a lot better. Today I fucked up by finally looking up my classmates after nearly 25 years. I'm generally not one to look back, and I've never kept in touch with anyone from grade / high school, gone to any class reunions, or registered for any of those classmate sites. In the last 20 years I've only been tracked down by one person trying to update the reunion list, and I just told them politely it was nice hearing from them, but I lived out of the country and really wasn't interested in reunions and so forth. For some reason, curiosity finally got the best of me, so I looked up my old class. It's funny how many people you forget about, how many memories come back, and it was pretty cool seeing some then and now photos. Then I found the obituaries. 5 of my best friends have committed suicide. Not 5 people I knew, I mean 5 people who at one time or another, either in junior high or high school, we were mutually each other's best friend. That fucking hit me hard. I wouldn't have guessed back then that any of them would do that, and I racked my brain trying to recall anything I recognized in any of them. But the only common thing 4 of them had in common was having divorced parents. The other had wished his parents divorced, but no such luck. I came from a broken home myself, but once my parents went their separate ways everyone actually got along fine and all was cool. I didn't think at the time divorce affected my friends, but obviously it could have greatly, who knows. Anyway, in total there were far too many other friends that have died of different causes, mainly cancer for the girls and heart-related illnesses and accidents for the guys. If I were to make general conclusions, the 2 that hit me hardest were girls I was in love with, an old girlfriend who died 2 years ago, who, ironically I still have an old love note from somewhere, and my high school crush. I remembered how sweet my girlfriend was to me, the fun we had, and how open she was with her affection at school, which always embarrassed me but in truth I dug it. And my high school crush Sue, who when I saw her picture reminded me that she was really the real reason I went looking back in the first place. She was the most today I fucked up, coolest, humble, and just nicest person I knew at the time. I just really wanted to see that smile again, and there it was, just before she passed, looking as today I fucked up as ever with her 2 kids. I was tempted to reach out to them somehow just to tell them how cool their mom really was back in the day. I thought about it as I looked at the pictures of them together, but I could tell they already knew how great she was. RIP to all my peoples from then, and RIP to my childhood. I don't want to go back anymore. Too long didn't read. After not looking up my schoolmates for 25 years, I stupidly chose a time when I was nostalgic only to find out many of them had killed themselves or died early deaths. Edit, teared up a bit writing, haha, fixed a couple words. Tell Sue's kids what their mum meant to you. Even if it's just writing them a letter, just a platonic letter about how you thought she was awesome. Maybe include a couple of stories about fun things she did. It would definitely be a nice thing for them. I really do kind of want to now. I know it meant a lot to me when I'd hear from people who knew my dad and tell me stories or just something he did that meant something to them. I think it would make me feel better too. I have no idea why I'm so very sad over her after all these years. Or man. I'm going through high school and I'ma go give my friends a hug. Can relate man. A few weeks ago, my middle school crush died. Met her at a party before COVID again. One of the nicest and coolest girls back then. Just started a new job. We both were best in class when it came to math, but chose different career paths and talked about that. A year ago, another girl from high school died from a brain tumor, too. Didn't interact with her much, but she always did a lot for our class and was easily one of the nicest ones in her group of friends. Nobody really had a problem with her. I'm only 21. Fuck is happening? Can we please fucking stop killing off cool people? Or do I have to go full Doomslayer and kill those fuckers up there that decide the fate of this godforsaken planet? I hear yeah. Even after 11 years I have lost friends. I also have long moved on from high school, but live in the same area, so hear of things from time to time. Losing people is never easy. Sometimes it's even more jarring if we've been out of touch and those people have lived in our memories. Finding out we won't run into them, or spark up a convo on social media is tough. I don't think it's stupid to sometimes look back though. Yeah, it just hits home I think because you remember all those kids as so young and healthy and their whole life ahead of them, then you don't have contact, and then they're just dead. It's weird that since the pandemic hit, maybe because my life has slowed down for the first time, I've been thinking of them and actually had 2 or 3 dreams about them. Although I've been tempted, I still haven't actually reached out to anyone because it just seems like it would be awkward, and I honestly feel like it was 2 or 3 lifetimes ago and I'm a completely different person. If I live long enough maybe I'll go to the very last reunion where there's like 6 people left, haha. Hey, I understand your pain. I learned a few weeks back an old school friend passed 2 years ago. We knew each other and wasn't exactly best mates, but we got on and had some good laughs. I managed to find her grave and pay my respects. I counted up all my friends who have passed during and after school and there's 9 of them. I'm not even 30 yet and I just find it hard to wrap my head around. It's really sad. Chin up toe, old chap.